Mario with MIA Microflight. Today is Friday, November 14, 2025, and I thought I'd do a video here because one of my customers kind of sent me a photograph, an awful black and white photograph of what I believe it's this particular model right here that was sold by Hobby Lobby back in 1994, 1995. This is one of the, I believe this is based on the Quicksilver Ultralight that was it was an attempt of an ultralight at that time, gas powered model, and I've had this catalog, since it's still brand new, since back in this day right here when I got this catalog, 94, 95, and so this is after I stumbled on this. I received this catalog and I saw this. This is after I was making my very first Quicksilver style RC Ultralights, back in the 80's. And so this came after the fact, and when I saw this, I go, wow, they try to do an ultralight, but after looking at the way these tubes were bent and curved, and I believe I also saw some recent videos of this particular, when somebody had this particular model, I noticed that the ribs were inserted from the top of the wing with pockets, holes on the back of the wing where you inserted on the top of the wing, not hidden or underneath, like I do my wings, So I was looking at this, and over the years I have been, refining my model so that it does not follow any of this this approach that was done, to design this model. In particularly the drilling of the tubes, the leading and trailing edge tubes. These are all aluminum tubes, by the way. On my Microlights or Ultralights, I use carbon rods, except on the half scale project that I recently did. Well, not too long ago. This year, earlier this year, last year, I started on that project. And I've already, sold some of the components so that other customers, or buying return customers mainly, can build this particular size. So I don't drill through the tubes or the rods on the leading, trailing edges or on the rest of the model, except at the very end of the straight tubes that need to be connected to other tubes. I don't bend the tubes as in this particular model. These curves was throwing me off, and it's kind of not in my particular style, the way I like doing this. I like straight tubes. There's my ultralight right there, half scale. You can see that it's very elegant in design, and I take into consideration also all the angles, the height, the proportions, all that stuff. I spend quite a lot of time in thinking about these things and how that looks from every angle, so that it's all in proportion. It looks great. I also don't use this complexity here with the king post and all these guide wires, because that's very complex. One of my customers did that on his half scale ultralight. And he really likes that setup. I've done that in some of my earlier models, and that's the reason why I never did that again, because it's a lot of work, and I just rather make it more modern, more like the modern ultralights with struts, just rigid struts, and that's the way my ultralights are constructed. So I wanted to do this video just to share this with my customer that sent me that old photograph. I believe it's the same model. He said that it was made in Brazil and sold through Hobby Lobby. So I think it's the same model here that is shown in this catalog here. It's 1994 catalog. But like I said, I was doing my ultralights way before this time, and I did stumble on this, and I did see this, and I was like comparing the way I approached mine without having seen this before. I was comparing, and I go, you know what? These curves here, I would never do that on my ultralights. I think they bend these tubes just to make it more, I don't know, maybe cut some corners here and there. And so I didn't do that on my Microlights, and taking into account all the other details. Just wanted to get this on video, and just for the sake of discussion. Mario, once again, stay tuned for more.